right, hey everybody, welcome to the inaugural episode of a true crime podcast called Crimes, Killers, Cults.
And beer.
His name is Todd.
And his name is Bill.
And we're going to hopefully win you over, and we'll be doing episodes for you for a long time.
Absolutely.
Yes. First off, a little bit about us. We're both heavy metal musicians, and we've been in bands before back years ago and everything. I'm not in a band currently, but Todd is, and we'll tell you more about that later. I also did an online radio show for 3 years, and it was pretty successful. So this ain't my first rodeo with things like this. And we started another podcast. It's called Bill and Todd's Excellent Digression, and it's a comedic podcast about doing TV show and movie reviews and whatnot. It's a funny look at them, and so far we've got 10 episodes in, and you can find that one on Spotify or at all the platforms. And we hope you'll check that one out too.
Yes, please, by all means.
Yeah, we had fun doing them, and we hope we have fun doing this too. And you might have noticed something about our title, about a certain beverage that's part of it. Beer.
Yes, beer.
I mean, you kind of need a beer when you're talking about the lowest forms of human scum ever to walk the planet.
Right.
So what are you drinking?
Today I have a New Belgium. It is Agent 77 IPA by Voodoo Ranger.
Nice. Is it good?
Yeah, it's good. It's 7.7% alcohol too. I might be messed up by the end of this.
You got nothing on me, man. I'm drinking a pale ale. It's an American, a pale lager, and it was really smooth hops, yeast, and everything. It was brewed really well. I think it's brewed in St. Louis. It's called Bud Light.
It's called Bud Light. Nice.
Todd's the beer connoisseur. I'm the snob.
I had a Bud Light earlier, so it's all good.
Yeah, I pretty much only drink one thing, and that's Bud Light. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it mindset.
I like trying new things every now and again.
Yeah, when it comes to beer, I like my Bud Light.
Right on.
So
nothing wrong with that.
Nope. Anyway, today's episode. Now this isn't going to be the norm of how we do things, but Todd here has no clue what this story is all about.
None whatsoever. I stayed in the dark.
Yeah, and because this story is so unbelievable, just you're going to think it's fiction. And I wanted him to have a genuine reaction from it. And I'm sure a lot of our listeners have probably listened to other podcasts about it. I know of several really good ones that I've listened to, but we're telling the story of Michael Malloy. Now, he is. You know who Rasputin is?
Rasputin, the Mad Monk, yeah.
Yeah, and you know how he kind of refused to die?
Yeah, according to the legend.
Well, Michael Malloy has been called the Irish Rasputin, and this isn't legend. This is true. Everything in this story, everything that's in this story is stuff that came out in court.
Oh wow! Okay, now you got me interested.
So this man did not know how to die. He refused, and it starts off with a cast of seedy characters we're going to introduce before we introduce our unfortunate hero of the story, Michael Malloy. But because there is a cast of characters that happens, that's there, and it's important because you kind of got to know who they are going through the story. So on these podcasts, I have to cite sources. On the House, The Bizarre Killing of Michael Malloy by Simon Reed. I actually had to find that have my library track it down because of the fact that it's out of print and new copies of it are like $100. I read through that, and I found an article on thejournal.ie. There's an article that I found really helpful called Iron Mike Malloy, the Donegal man they tried 9 times to kill. I found that article really helpful. So, and of course I've listened to several podcasts about him, including Morbid and True Crime Kent. Those are the 2 main ones that I listened to. But I didn't really listen to them for sources, for information to put together this timeline. I used the book, I used the article mainly for that. So, first off, we have Tony Marino. Oh, this takes place back in the Depression and during Prohibition. And that's important too. So we have Tony Marino. Now he owns a speakeasy, and not like a nice speakeasy or anything like that. This is a really seedy speakeasy, really just disgusting, small, and we'll get to that later. We'll get to the description of it later, but he owns a speakeasy. Now this guy's riddled with syphilis and other STDs, and he's just a total piece of shit. Okay, and he's abusive to his wife. He beats the shit out of her constantly. He actually gave syphilis to his wife, and she found out while giving birth to their son.
Oh my!
So this guy is just a big time piece of shit. Now he also his wife actually left him at one point, but wound up coming back. But shortly thereafter, he moves a side piece into the house, and the wife doesn't like it or anything like that, but she doesn't do anything about it. She kind of lets all this shit happen to her, which you can't blame the victim or anything, but it's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
So he brings this side piece in, and now this is what happens to her. This is important because it has to do with later on in the story. So after he's done playing with her and everything, he decides he gets this bright idea about taking out a life insurance policy on her. And then he kills her for the life insurance money.
Who, the side piece?
Yeah, he kills the side piece for some life insurance money.
Oh, wow.
Like I said, this guy's a major piece of shit.
Yeah, right.
So, the policy was for $2,000, which in today's money is around $39,000. But the way he kills her is he gets her super drunk one night, like to the point to where she passes out, and he puts her in bed right next to the open window. This is in New York, and it's super cold outside, and he soaks the bed, soaks the mattress, soaks the bed, soaks her, wraps her up in a wet quilt, and puts her right next to the open window, and she of course freezes to death. And her death is listed. The cause of death is listed as pneumonia complications. So perfectly,
what?
Yeah, perfectly legal. Perfectly valid reason for collecting on a life insurance policy. But next cast member is Red Murphy. He's a bartender, and he's actually an escaped mental patient. And he's got like a double-digit IQ, not very bright, but he's Tony Marino's bartender at Marino's Speakeasy. So he pays him $1 a day, and he gets to drink for free, and he also lives there at the bar. He literally lives there. There's a old nasty couch in the bar. Now this is a really small bar. Like probably a little bit bigger than my bunker that I'm in here. And that's like 10 by 15 or something like that. 10 by 18. I don't know, but it's not much. It's a small storefront basically.
Right.
So he sleeps on this nasty ass couch. I'm sure it's I'm sure it's been pissed all over and everything. It's just disgusting.
I'm sure. Hey, well, at least he can't be late for work.
True. So the next cast member, Frank Pasqua. He's an undertaker. Now, he is actually Michael Malloy's occasional employer, but he's the one that took him to Marino's Speakeasy in the first place. So, of course, as an undertaker, he probably knows many insurance agents, which comes into play later. So I'm just putting that out there because, that's kind of important to the story later.
Right on.
Next we have Daniel Kreisberg, and he's a fruit seller, and he's just kind of there. I mean, he's a family man. Next we have Tough Tony Bastone.
Tough Tony.
Yep, Tough Tony Bastone. He's basically a hitman for the mob, and he also provides liquor to a lot of the speakeasies in New York City. Because this is during Prohibition.
Yes.
We have Hershey Green. He's a cab driver. Oh, and we also have Joseph Maglione, and he's like an underling. He's like an underling of Tough Tony.
Gotcha.
He's the guy that says, "Want me to get him, boss? Want me to get him, boss?" So, now that we have our cast of characters assembled, let's meet Michael. Michael, like I said, he was working for Frank Pasqua initially, and he became a regular at the bar. He loved to drink. This guy could literally outdrink anybody. And, he was basically homeless, and he didn't have much of a job. I mean, Frank Pasqua would let him sleep at the morgues from time to time. So
that's always fun.
So he would come in, he would come in and, what little money that he had, I mean, he would go out and do like odd jobs around the city and everything, and whatever money he made, he took it to the speakeasy and drank it. That's all he cared about was drinking, and pretty much the only food that he ate were the free sardine sandwiches that the speakeasy offered. That's all he had.
Ew.
Yeah, he lived on liquor and sardine sandwiches.
Oh. All right, I guess you got to do what you got to do, I suppose.
Now the bathroom in this tiny little building is like literally right next to the bar, and the only thing separating it is a curtain. There's no door.
One of those places.
Huh?
Said one of those places.
Yeah, but if you've got people in there drinking liquor and eating sardine sandwiches, can you imagine what that place must have smelled like because of the bathroom being?
Oh, God.
This is not a bar that I would
light
want
a
to go
match,
to.
will you? For God's sake.
I don't think it would help, honestly, because you have a lot of that liquor that you had back in there was moonshine and hooch, basically.
Oh yeah.
You might get some top shelf liquor that's smuggled into the country, which I mean that happened, but I doubt that Tony's Marino's Speakeasy was able to get their hands on any of the top shelf stuff.
Yeah, probably not.
No, that was Nucky, the Boardwalk Empire. He got all the good stuff.
Yeah, he got all the good shit.
That was a good show.
I never watched it. I guess I'll have to watch that one now too.
Yeah, it's good. I only watched it once, and I don't think I've watched the final season, but it's really good. So Michael, once he would get cut off, once his tab got cut off by Marino, he would start begging people for drinks. I was like, "Hey man, can I get a drink? Come on."
I know people like that.
Yeah. So Marino decides that he's going to hire Michael as a bartender. And he pays him by free drink. Not unlimited free drinks, but but free drinks, like basically a daily tab, we'll say.
Right.
And Michael also lives there now. So we've got Red Murphy and Michael, two homeless bums and everything, living in this bar. But anyway, it's during Prohibition, and the speakeasy's not doing very well. So Tony and Frank and Daniel are discussing the bar failing, and they're trying to come up with like some sort of hustle and everything so that they can get more money. And they can't help but notice how sickly Michael looks. He looks like he's literally about to die. So he's probably like 40, 50, mid 40s to mid 50s, somewhere along in that range.
Uh-huh.
But because he's been drinking all of his life, like nonstop, he's a raging alcoholic. He looks a hell of a lot older than that. So Frank, the Undertaker, he suggests that Tony Marino take a life insurance policy on Michael Malloy. And he would and then kill him, and then he would handle the autopsy. So, what can go wrong, right?
Right? Yeah, what could go wrong?
You have no clue.
I'm assuming by how you wanted me to stay in the dark about this that pretty much everything goes wrong?
Pretty much.
Just assuming. I have no idea. Like I said, I was a good boy and stayed in the dark.
So, of course, when once he dies and everything, Pasquale is going to handle the autopsy and deal with the insurance agents and do all the paperwork and all that stuff to make it legit. But the thing is they're going to have to it can't look like a murder. So it's going to have to be like natural causes.
Right.
So Frank and Tony Marino are in on it, but Kreisberg was there too, and he wants in. So they cut him in. So that's so he's just in because he happened to be there. So he may have said something along the lines of, you better cut me in if you want me to keep quiet. Although they know Tough Tony and an Undertaker, so it's probably not a good idea to threaten these people. So I don't think that he would have threatened them.
Yeah, that's probably not a good idea.
No. So they go to a life insurance agent, and they try to take out a $3,500 policy on him, which would have been like $60,000 approximately in today's money. And due to Michael's fragile condition, the policy is denied. You would think that right then and there that would be a sign that's like, okay, maybe this isn't such a good idea. You would think, right?
You would think.
But nope. They go to a different agent and try again, and it's also denied. So, once again, okay, if at first you fail, try again. If you fail then too, maybe it's not such a great idea after all. maybe that's the universe trying to tell you something.
Right? You'd think, but
But nope. So now they decide, okay, Red Murphy, the bartender, is going to be the beneficiary of the policy. And they're going to put the name Nicholas Malloy on the policy instead of Michael Malloy. Mm-hmm. So and Red Murphy is going to pretend to be Nicholas Malloy's brother. So now we've got 4 people involved.
And the plot thickens.
Yeah. So they find this works, and they're able to get the policy. And of course, the people that the policy. This is how bad this thing is. Okay. Frank Pasquale is an Undertaker, and he has dealings with life insurance agents you know. So, but of course, the ones that he's going to send them to are probably the more seedy ones, and the seedy one, and two of the seedy ones said no. So that right there should tell you something. I mean the policy, the company, the insurance company, it wasn't seedy, but the actual agents were. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Gotcha.
Prudential was one of them. So, and that's not a seedy company, but you know, you could have a seedy agent working for a reputable
seedy
company.
agents, yeah. Oh yeah, of course.
So they get a $1,600 policy, which is $30,000 in today's money, and the payment on it is $5 a month, which I guess is like around $50, maybe more, in today's money per month.
Yeah, I guess.
Right.
I'm gonna take your word for it because I'm in no position to do that kind of math right now.
So now, enter Tough Tony. He gets wind of it because he overhears them talking about it, and he wants in just because he provides the liquor to the bar. So it's like, hey, if you want to keep selling your liquor, you better cut me in on this. So now we've got 5 people involved. Well, 6 if you count Maglione, you know, the henchman of Tough Tony.
Yeah.
So we're up to 6 people. So basically, you know, they're going to get around $300 each, which is about $6,000 today. Is $6,000 enough to kill somebody? No.
Nah.
Nah. Depends. Well, it depends on who.
Dude, I don't even think I could kill somebody I hated for $6,000. It'd have to be a whole lot more than that.
Yeah, I know. So they wound up taking out 2 more policies at $500 each. So they've got $2,600 total in insurance policies, which is equal to about $51,000 today, making it about $10,000 each.
We're getting there.
Yeah. So now they're like, okay, well, now we got to kill Michael. We have to kill Michael Malloy. So it has to look like an accident. Tough Tony's like, well, why don't we just fucking shoot him? Like, no, Tony, it has to be an accident. Well, I could accidentally beat the fuck out of him.
I don't know what happened, Yana. He accidentally fell onto my baseball bat like 29 times.
So Tough Tony ain't very bright. He's tough.
Well, with a name like that, you wouldn't think that he would be.
A needlepoint expert.
Yeah, he doesn't sound like the sharpest pencil in the box.
Nice. Good one.
So, you know.
Yeah, that was a good setup and serve right there.
Yep.
Didn't even mean to. So they come up with this idea. Michael loves to drink, and it already looks like he's about to die. Let's just let him drink himself to death. So they're like, okay, Michael, buddy, you've been a good employee, and before that you were a good customer. You know, we all like you here. We're all friends. We're going to give you an unlimited tab just because we like you so much. And Michael Malloy's like, what? Oh, hell yeah.
Right, he's all about that shit, I bet.
He's on cloud 9. So, one weekend, nothing happens. He's drinking from the moment they open up in the morning till the time that he passes out at night. Literally non-stop. You know, he's on cloud 9. He's got his best friends in the world now. Yeah, this is the happiest he's ever been in his life.
Uh-huh.
So, but Marino keeps paying out the insurance policies. He's paying for liquor, and he's paying for sardine sandwiches. Not to mention, not to mention the lease on the building. You know, and he was already doing pretty poorly. You know, business was already bad. And now he's got Michael Malloy drinking probably more than everybody else drinks combined.
Yeah, right. And not dying, apparently.
And not dying. So, he'll pass out. He'll stagger out and everything. He'll go somewhere, but he always comes back the next morning. He passed out in the snow one time and didn't even freeze to death. So, they're getting...
Because he's pickled himself like Keith Richards, man. He's never going to die. They didn't think this out well enough, I don't think.
No. But then again, I mean, the amount of alcohol that this guy... And we're just getting started.
Oh, boy.
They're getting frustrated. Michael is literally drinking enough to kill a normal person. And he's doing it every single day. So old Red Murphy, the genius that he is, he said, with his double-digit IQ and the guy that was an escaped mental patient.
He's a rocket scientist.
Yeah. He suggests methanol, which is basically, it's wood alcohol.
Yeah.
It's also very toxic. And just ingesting a tiny amount of it could cause blindness. Like a single shot of it would be enough to kill a normal person in a matter of an hour or less. So they started mixing it in with his moonshine or whiskey or whatever. They started mixing it in with that.
Oh wow!
Still doesn't die. Doesn't even notice. In fact, he likes it. He likes it. He's like, wow, this is, I've never had this.
What's this new flavor you put in the shine? Oh, boy.
So by the end of the night, they're giving him more, in each shot or each drink, they're giving him more methanol than actual whiskey. So he leaves. And they're it's like, okay, this has got to do it. This has got to do it. The next morning, guess who walks through the door?
Our buddy Michael.
He's like, "Hey guys, how you doing?" And they're all looking. They've got to be just stunned. They're like, "What in the hell?" So
why ain't you dead?
So this guy's got a liver made out of steel, apparently.
No shit, dude. His liver's a freaking champion.
Olympic champion. Drinking.
Damn right.
If drinking were an Olympic sport, he would bring home the gold every time.
Yes, indeed.
So they're getting more and more frustrated, and at some point they start giving him 100% methanol, over and over again. One day he drank an entire quart of it.
Holy shit!
And he doesn't die. He leaves and then he comes waltzing back in the next morning. Ready to go do it again. This went on for days and weeks of just straight pure methanol. Now, whiskey has a pretty powerful smell to it, but methanol, that stuff will make your eyes burn.
Yeah, it should anyway.
Well, that's the only person in the bar that it's like everybody else has got to be like getting sick from these fumes, and the only person that's not is the person that they're trying to kill, and the person that's actually drinking this shit.
Yeah, I don't want to jump ahead or nothing, but I just thought of something. Like, at what point do you realize that it's costing you more to kill this guy than you're going to get back?
Oh, we'll get there. We'll get there.
I know, that's why I said I didn't want to jump ahead, but that just occurred to me.
The thing is they never get to that point. They're just so they're just so dead set on this that they just keep going and going and going. They're determined to see this through. It's like,
yeah, well, I guess you got to finish what you start, but damn.
Yeah. I mean, you got to handle it. They're committed. You got to give them that.
Yeah. Dumber than a bag of hammers, but committed they are.
So Kreisberg, remember he's the guy that was just kind of there.
Yeah.
He challenges Michael to a drinking contest.
Oh boy.
That would be like a 16-year-old kid who's only had maybe 3 beers in his life challenging you or me to a drinking contest. So, basically Kreisberg challenging Michael Malloy to a drinking contest. But, of course, Michael Malloy is just going to get straight methanol. And,
well, of course.
And then Kreisberg will get the whiskey. So, Michael drinks Kreisberg under the table. Just not even close. I mean, he's pounding. He's probably drinking 5 to maybe even more than that to Kreisberg's 1. I mean, I wonder if at this point it's like if you held up a lighter in front of his face and he blew, would he spit fire?
Just from his breath?
Yeah, from his breath. Because I mean, methanol is flammable.
Yeah, it's possible. I would guess. I would assume that it's possible. But yeah, dude, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, this has got to be super expensive to be able to keep up. I mean, not only are you paying Tough Tony for the actual liquor, you're making a hardware store guy's day with all the methanol that you're buying.
Right? Jesus, man.
So
I don't even know how they're managing this shit.
I know. So this goes on day after day, week after week. And finally one night, Michael Malloy passed out and fell on the floor. Just bam, landed on the floor. They feel his pulse, and it's really low, and it's slowing down, and he's not really breathing. He's breathing really really slowly.
Mm-hmm.
So they think he's dead. He finally did. This is it. He's gonna die any minute now. Yeah, they're talking
we
about
finally got him.
They finally got him. They think that they're talking about what they're gonna do with their money and all that stuff, and they're like, okay, well, they're Pasquale's there, and he's like, okay, well, this is the next step we have to do, and blah 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 blah. All of a sudden, Michael Malloy on the floor starts snoring.
Oh Jesus! He just fell asleep.
He just passed out drunk. Yeah, he starts snoring. Can you imagine the look on their face? I mean, this.
Oh my!
One of the lines in my song, in the chorus, the song's called "The Death of Michael Malloy," and one of the lines in the chorus is "Superhuman Distillery."
Hell yeah!
I came up with that term. That wasn't something that I found anywhere. I came up with that, and I wrote it into my song. But still, yeah, that's
awesome.
True. Superhuman Distillery.
Damn, man, I can't believe this guy is still fucking kicking.
Oh,
that's crazy.
He's my hero. I love the guy, and all reports say that he was a super nice guy.
Even that drunk.
Even while drunk, he just he would sit there. He'd be your best friend.
He's a highly functional alcoholic, man. That's for sure.
Yeah, and he's apparently very trusting. Too trusting.
Well, yeah, since all of his friends are trying to kill him.
Yeah, assholes. So the next morning, Michael Malloy leaves to go do some errands. Yeah, and he comes back later and he's ready to drink. I put that in there because of the fact that, it's like, why even do errands at this point? You've got you've got your place to sleep there in the bar. You've got your free tap and you've got your free sardine sandwiches.
Ew.
Yeah. Gross.
I'm still gonna ooh the sardine sandwiches, man. I can't help that. That's just wrong.
I know. And we're not talking about, we're talking about sardine sandwiches from the Prohibition days. I'm sure that cleanliness standards weren't as high as they are now.
Oh, yeah, I doubt they wash their hands at all. At least in this place. I'm sure some places they kept up the cleanliness, but this place we're talking about?
Not this place. Not this place.
Fairly certain that there was not much hand washing going on before making a sandwich.
No. I don't even know if it had a sink. Well, I'm sure it had a sink behind the bar, but I doubt the bathroom even had a sink.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, it's just a toilet behind in a closet behind a curtain.
Yeah.
It's probably just a shower curtain, literally.
I'm sure it was. It's probably not even that. It's probably just a bunch of fucking potato sacks or something that they just fucking hung up.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So Pasquale comes up with this idea. He says that he once embalmed a man who had died after eating raw oysters while drinking.
Oh boy.
So apparently, like, acute indigestion, like the oysters can't be broken down due to the alcohol. I mean, apparently that's a thing.
Huh. Never heard of that, but all right.
I mean, it makes sense, I guess. But
I'll buy that for $1.
So what they do is they soak raw oysters in methanol for several days. And
of Jesus Christ!
So they probably weren't. They probably weren't kept cold at that point. Well, I mean, I doubt that they put the methanol in the refrigerator. So, of course, these raw oysters probably rotted after a day or so.
Well, not that much alcohol. They're probably preserved.
Well, true. Of course, or maybe I don't know.
It doesn't matter. It still can't be good for you no matter what. So,
so after they've soaked in the methanol for several days, they put them on a plate and hand them to Michael. Hey, you want some oysters? Change it up from the sardines, maybe? So he eats them, and nothing at all. He's fine. So they're thinking, okay, well, maybe it might take a day or two, like get in his stomach and all that stuff. But so a day or two later, Marino asks how he's feeling. Michael Malloy says, I've never felt better.
Oh my God, man. They all got to be sitting there like, why won't you die? Why can't I kill you?
And they got to do it with a fake smile on their face the entire time.
Oh, Jesus, man.
Oh, and it's kind of funny because you're like, why won't you die? Yeah, that's in my song too. It's like, why won't he die? He's not a man. A demon sent to foil our plan. Desperation rising, taunting the monster. I crack a fake smile. Have another. Yeah. Yeah, it's a really good song.
He's not human. He's like a piece of iron.
He's had several different nicknames, including, like I said, the Irish Rasputin, Mike the Durable.
Mike the Durable. I love that.
Yeah. The unkillable Michael Malloy. There were several more.
Mike the Durable. I love that, dude. I love that.
And even Iron Mike.
Yeah, Iron Mike. But we already know there's an Iron Mike. That's what they called Tyson. So.
Right.
before he before he turned crazy and bit fucking what's his name's ear off.
Yeah. But Michael Malloy had the name first.
I'm sure, but everybody knows Mike Tyson better than this guy.
Right.
So.
Well, it's a shame. It's a shame that I can't believe that there's not been a dark comedy movie made about this story.
I know, right? I'm loving it so far.
I mean, this story is incredible. And
somebody needs to make a movie out this.
Yeah, there needs to be a movie made about this story. But it's just too unbelievable. I mean, it's a story that's literally packaged up just for Hollywood.
It writes itself. It writes itself. I mean, dude, you don't even have to write a script. Just go, this is what happened. Now act.
Yeah. Yeah. So, of course, they're pissed, and actually the newspaper after the story broke, they named this group of idiots the Murder Trust.
Murder Trust. I like it.
Yeah. So
that could be a good band name.
Yeah, the Murder Trust. I'm surprised it isn't. But so they're pissed, and then of course somebody comes up with a plan. Tough Tony comes up with a plan. He says, "Well, can we just beat the fucker to death?
He's back to that.
Beat him to death. That's easy. Bam, boom, bing. He's dead. We get our money." It's like, no, Tough Tony, no, down, boy, down, bad.
Bads. Hit him with a squirt bottle. Bad.
So, Red Murphy, he decides, like, okay, well, he's eating all these sardine sandwiches, so let's just let the sardines rot. So he rots a bunch of sardines for several days to the point to where they're rancid.
Mm.
And then he soaked them in methanol.
Of course.
And then for good measure, he adds some metal shavings, some shards of glass, and carpet tacks.
Oh.
Mix it all up together, put it on some bread. And after he was like good and drunk, they serve it to him. Rotten sardine sandwiches with glass and metal shavings and carpet tacks. It's better than my ex-wife's cooking.
Extra crunchy sardine sandwiches today, Michael, for you.
Yeah. But he loved them.
Of course he did.
He loved it. And he chased it with straight methanol and asked for another one of those sandwiches. So this goes on for several days. He's eating these sandwiches, several of them in a day. And somehow it's not ripping his intestines to shreds. I don't know. I don't know. I don't understand how he survived that one.
Jesus, how is this guy still?
He's a titan.
Apparently, this guy's like God level.
Yeah.
Holy
he's Irish.
crap.
He's Irish.
That could explain a lot right there.
True. If there's not a Michael Malloy Day in Ireland, there should be.
Yes, there should be. We'll have to look that up and see if there is.
Yeah, even though this happened in New York, but he was an Irish immigrant. He actually, he immigrated from Ireland, so he's not like somebody who was born in the United States and calls themselves Irish.
Right, like all them fucks from Boston.
Yeah. So, all of a sudden, Tony Marino remembers his side piece and how he killed her. Now, in case you're wondering why he didn't think of that before, remember his brain is riddled with syphilis.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's. at this rate, he's probably going to die of syphilis before Michael Malloy dies.
No shit.
So at this point, it's January in New York City, so it's cold. Yeah, once he comes up with this, lets everybody in on the story. It's like, well, why the hell didn't we do it in the first place? Well, right. It wasn't winter when they came up with the plan, so it wouldn't have worked in the beginning. This has been going on for months.
Oh my, this is crazy. It's like, at what point don't you just give up?
I know. They've had so many opportunities to say, you know what, this is more trouble than it's worth. This is costing us. This is getting messier and messier by the day. And, yeah, maybe we should stop. So Michael comes in, and they get him schnockered. They need him to pass out. So he finally passes out. So they pull him, they load him into a car, and they take him to a park bench at a park, and they unbutton his shirt. They drench him with 5 gallons of ice water. The temperatures are in the teens to low 20s, and it's snowing. So they show up the next morning. They're thinking, "Oh my God, I think there's no way he's got to be frozen solid by now. He's dead. We're done." All of a sudden, guess who walks through the door? He walks up the stairs. Michael Malloy. He tells them that, like, man, I must have just passed out on the way home because I woke up and, on a park bench or something. So I came back over here and slept in the basement next to the heater.
Oh my God. What the fuck?
So now it's time for another plan. Now keep in mind, as they're coming up with the plan, he's still drinking from the time that he wakes up until the time that he goes to bed, and it's mostly methanol that he's drinking. And they're probably still feeding him rotten sardine sandwiches and with broken glass and metal and tax, and so they're probably still doing all of that stuff. The information doesn't say, but he's got to eat, otherwise he would starve to death.
Well, there's a plan.
Yeah, like, okay, no more sardines. You're cut off.
Right?
With liquor?
Seriously?
No, just the sardines. Just the sardines. No more. You can't have any more sardines. What am I going to eat? Your problem, not ours. You're killing us. You're killing us with these damn. You're killing our money with all these sardines that you're eating. So
you're
no more
killing
sardines.
us, trying to kill you. Holy shit.
So, well, that's not what they did. But
yeah.
So they get him drunk again, or excuse me, I got ahead of myself. New plan. Enter another player, another character in this cast of idiots.
Have we met this one yet?
Hershey Green. I mentioned him in the beginning.
Yes. I was wondering about Hershey.
Yeah, he's a cab driver. So they get this bright idea. Let's run him over with the cab.
Just put him out in the road. It'll be an accident.
Yeah. So now there's 6 people involved. 7 if you count Maglione.
And the money's dwindling.
Yeah. So, step 1. They get him drunk again, and he passes out. Step 2. They drive to a dark road and hold him up by the arms. And step 3, the cab goes down to the end of the street and speeds up. Step 4, they let go of him right as he hits them, right as he's there to hit him. They're getting ready to do that, but the lights come on in a house. So they load him up and they find another street. So they get him up, and this time it's working. But even passed out, Michael's body pushes him out of subconsciously pushes himself out of the line of sight of the vehicle.
Oh my God!
Like they let him go, and his body just kind of, just instinctively jerked him out of the way. He knocked himself out of the way.
Wow.
So this happened several times, and finally they hit him. They launched him up into the air, and he landed in a ditch. Another car comes into view, so they have to leave Michael behind, because they don't want to be seen. They don't want to be seen loading what's presumably a dead body into a car.
All right.
So Michael Malloy doesn't show up the next morning. So they go to the spot where he landed in the ditch, and he's gone. They're like, what the hell? So days go by. They're looking at the newspapers for stories of a hit and run accident or anything like that, and he hasn't turned up. He hasn't. He's gone. So they're thinking maybe he wasn't dead and he crawled off somewhere, and now he's just rotting somewhere underneath the snow.
Right.
So they come up with a new plan. You want to take a guess what this new plan is?
I bet it's not trying to starve him to death.
Nope. Keep in mind, they don't know where he is at the moment.
Oh, God. I don't know. This story's so friggin' crazy, dude. I can't even hazard a guess. Because, I could probably guess the most insane thing that they would try to do, and it's going to be more insane than that.
Okay, come up with the most insane thing that you can think of.
Okay, so what's their new plan? Well, they can't drink him to death. They can't eat him to death.
Well, they don't know where he is.
But they don't know where he is. So what, are they just going to call him missing and have him declared dead?
No.
And that's not even insane. That's what normal people would do.
Well, normal people wouldn't be trying to kill somebody for life insurance.
Oh God, what could they? I have no idea, dude. I'm at a complete loss. I have no friggin' clue where this is gonna go.
Okay, the new plan,
and I love it.
This needs to be a movie. So the new plan.
You know what's funny? Hey, I looked up something, dude. There is a movie called Murder Trust that's basically about this story. It's like a 14-minute short movie.
Yeah, but there needs to be like a Hollywood 2 hour, 2.5 hour
there
movie.
Needs to be a whole, there needs to
or
be a
maybe even a mini series.
But I can't find out where you can watch it. But I did just do a little. I looked up because remember we said that the Murder Trust would be a cool band name, so I looked that up to see if there was a band already called that. And guess what shows up? This movie on IMDb, and I'm like, well, okay, they did make a movie out of it, kind of.
Huh. Well, maybe it's on YouTube.
I don't know.
Huh. But
anyway, back to the story.
Anyway. So
this is not the Drag Ocean channel.
No. The new plan is to find someone who looks like Michael Malloy, kill him, and pass him off as Michael Malloy, along with the fake Nicholas Mallory ID. So now they're killing 2 people.
Well, they got to be getting desperate by now.
Yeah. Well, oh no, we'll just find somebody that looks like him.
But kill that guy.
Yeah, but the thing about this is this happened in New York, okay? And people in New York like to make fun of the people in the South, like, all right, we're gonna kill that dude. We're gonna string him up and we're gonna beat him like a pinata, and then we're gonna serve his guts to his mama. The South gets all sorts of ridicule like that. But these idiots are in New York, and this is something that you could yeah, especially this part about them finding somebody that looks like Malloy and killing him. That's something that, that a Northerner would make fun of a inbred Southerner and accuse him of, say that he was doing. So they find this doppelganger, a man named Patrick Murray. He's also homeless, of course. So they offer him work, and they take him over to the speakeasy and they get him schnockered too. Why not just feed him some methanol?
It's probably easier for him, right? Yeah, right.
Yeah, why not just feed him some methanol? It would have killed him right then and there. I mean, it says it might look kind of like Michael Malloy, but it's not Michael Malloy. This guy doesn't. There's no way this guy has Michael Malloy's drinking tolerance.
Right. Well, but who knows, dude? They're probably fucking freaked out. Like, this guy won't fucking die. Maybe this shit is all bullshit.
Yeah, it could be.
They're like, dude, let's just fucking whack this dude and get it over with.
So they do the hit and run procedure again. They do it to Murray. Yeah, they take him out and do the same thing. Although there's a witness. Somebody takes the license plate number of the car, and Murray survives. He's in the hospital for like 2 months.
Jesus, these guys, they just can't get nothing right.
Another new plan. They come up with another brilliant plan.
Of course,
a gas line in a room, because like gas was used back then to as like a source of energy and everything.
Oh, yeah.
So a lot of buildings had gas lines, instead of like electrical outlets.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, yeah.
So they're going to find another doppelganger and poison him with the gas.
Another one?
Another one. So they're contemplating their strategy. They're like figuring out how they're going to do this. And all of a sudden, Michael Malloy strolls into the bar.
Of course he does. And you know what? I knew that was coming. Oh my God.
You know what the first thing that he says is? I'm sure dying for a drink.
I sure could have a drink, man. Yeah, of course.
Are you feeling the pinch of the Great Depression? Can't find a place to get a nice stiff drink because the man says you can't? Well, come on down to Tony Marino's Speakeasy. We're all friends here, aren't we? That's right, Marino's Speakeasy, home of New York City's best loaded oyster plate and our award-winning crispy sardine sandwich. Can't afford to get a drink at the Boardwalk Empire? Well, no problem. Here at Marino's Speakeasy, we've come up with an alternative to the alcohol that the man has made illegal. With our unique and secret formulas, we have created a drink that will get you just as drunk, but it isn't liquor or BS, see?
Got a methanol delivery for you.
Not so loud. Just put it over there. Damn. And here at Marino's Speakeasy, we want to give back to the community, see? Our family. To show our appreciation for all of you, we've started up an exciting contest. The Tab for Life contest, see? That's right. One lucky winner will be randomly selected, and that person will have unlimited free drinks for the rest of his or her life. And employees are eligible too. Our latest winner, Michael Malloy, he's our very own bartender. What do you think, Iron Mike?
Thanks, boss. I really love my job and all of my friends, but I sure am dying for a drink.
Coming right up, buddy. So come on down to Tony Marino's Speakeasy, where community is family.
No purchase necessary for the Tab for Life contest. The only qualification is the winner must have a life insurance policy with Tony Marino as the beneficiary. Marino Speakeasy is in no way affiliated with the Murder Trust.
I mean, shit, if I was still alive after all that crap, that's the first thing I'd want.
He was bandaged and bruised. So they instantly just started pouring him methanol.
Because that's worked so far.
Yeah, right. So he says that he was hit by a speeding car. He's like, I must have been hit by a speeding car, I reckon. Must have left the bar and stumbled into the street. I ended up at the hospital. I ended up at the hospital, and they treated me. He had several broken bones and a concussion. He's like, but I sure was thirsty the entire time. He's like, I'm so glad to be back here with my buddies.
Aww.
I want to have a drink with
sweet.
Michael Malloy. I want to have a drink with Michael Malloy.
Right?
I really do. I'm not going to challenge him to a drinking contest.
Shit, no.
but I want to have a drink with him. Yeah,
dude.
He seemed like a really, really sweet guy, and from all accounts, he was. He was.
Well,
like I
everybody
said before,
raise him up. Raise him up.
Yep.
I know you're drinking too. Raise him up. Here's to Michael Malloy.
Clink.
Cheers.
To Michael.
Anyway, to Michael.
So they find a room in a hotel, or like a little apartment building or whatever, like a short-term apartment building.
Mm-hmm. It
was a mile from the bar, and they rent it under the name Joseph Malloy. Supposedly Nicholas Mallory's brother.
Oh, okay.
So they've got to get him to that room. So old Tough Tony decides he's going to challenge Michael Malloy to a drinking contest. Whiskey versus methanol, of course.
Well, yeah.
So they drag him up to the room. They drag him upstairs, and at that time, it was reported that the lady that owned the apartment building, they said, they're like, okay, this is my brother Nicholas Malloy, and he's really drunk. He needs to sleep it off. And she reported later that he was actually he was actually frothing at the mouth at that point. So it's like, okay, he's dodged a shit ton of bullets and everything, but it's starting to catch up with him. It seems like if he's frothing at the mouth, that's never good,
Yeah.
But regardless, they drag him up to the room. They drag him upstairs and get him on the bed. They pull the gas line over to his mouth, and they cover his face with a towel. And unfortunately, this time Michael Malloy does die.
Oh.
Sorry to say it. Our hero, they finally killed him. They finally succeeded. Red Murphy stays with the body to make sure that he's dead.
To make sure he's dead.
to make sure that he's dead.
But he doesn't get back up again because, damn, they thought he was dead so many times.
Yeah. So he did. Michael Malloy did get his little bit of revenge, because when they were trying to get him up when they were trying to get him on the bed, he pissed all over Red Murphy.
Nice. I was going to say, he shit on somebody, didn't he?
He pissed all over Red Murphy.
Okay, pissed. That's the same thing. Good enough.
Yep. So Pasquale, he gets with his crooked contacts to pronounce him dead. Lobar pneumonia, and then they buried him under the Nicholas Malloy name. Then they tried to cash in the insurance policies. Yeah, the first one paid out no problem. But most of the time, when you have a life insurance claim, what do you need to go along with it?
Death certificate.
And
I don't know.
A body.
Oh, a body. Well, don't they have like the crooked coroner and everything? They could just say, yeah, I saw the body, sign off on it.
No, but this insurance company wouldn't do it. They wanted to see
the
a body.
insurance company needed to see the body.
Right. But these idiots had already buried Michael Malloy.
Oh, please tell me they're just not going to go dig him up and go, here's the body. They're going to try to kill somebody else, aren't they?
No. But an insurance investigator, an insurance adjuster, he starts looking into the case very meticulously. And, obviously some red flags are starting to come up. Yeah, this guy's doing their due diligence, whereas the policy that paid out didn't, obviously.
So just, fuck it, here you go.
So the investigator orders Michael Malloy to be exhumed and an autopsy done by one of their people. So it's poisoning. It's determined that it's poisoning. Now, at that time, Tough Tony, he's running his mouth saying that he deserves more of a cut than anybody.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but just because he's Tough Tony, so he starts trying to muscle everybody out, and he's trying to muscle. He's trying to threaten people into like, okay, well, I get the majority of the money. So he winds up in a gunfight, and his own flunky Maglione shoots and kills Tough Tony.
Oh my!
So Tough Tony's dead, and then
God.
Maglione is arrested. So, he's being questioned and everything. Now Maglione, he still thinks he's getting a cut of it. So at this point, he hasn't started talking. However, when the investigator starts investigating everybody involved, Red Murphy breaks down and he spills the beans.
I knew he was going to be a rat.
So does Hershey Green. And they all have like different stories, different variations of the story and everything, and but it's usually one person blaming another person who's blaming another person who's blaming another person.
Yes, of course.
It goes through all that in the book, and the book goes through in great detail the details of these life insurance policies. So,
Jesus.
But yeah, I'm not gonna. I used to be a licensed life insurance salesperson in South Carolina, and you don't want to hear that.
Well, I do if you've got a story like this.
Now it's all. I mean, they had double indemnity, which means that in the case of an accident, the policy would double.
Yeah.
So I mean, that was the main thing. There's a book written called Double Indemnity, and it's about this case, and it goes into even more detail. But
right on.
Life insurance is kind of a boring subject.
I have no doubt about that.
So, all of the murder trust is arrested and they're charged. They're all spilling the beans. They're all blaming each other, and they're all sentenced to the electric chair. But prior to this happening, prior to the arrests and whatnot, prior to Michael Malloy finally dying, Red Murphy actually was feeling bad, and he confided, he basically spilled the beans to Michael. He's like, look, they're trying to kill you. And Michael, he just, so what? He says, if they kill me, they'll get theirs in the end. And that's exactly what happened. They all get to go see old Sparky.
They all got a date with old Sparky.
Yeah. And then the last line of my song is Michael Malloy had beat him in the end.
Yes, indeed.
Or Michael Malloy had beat us in the end, because the song's written from the point of view of Tony Marino. Yeah. It's written from their point of view. So go ahead and have a listen to it.
All right.
Well, first let's talk. let's talk about this now. So what did you think of this unbelievable story?
Unbelievable doesn't even begin to describe it. Dude, insane is closer to the word I would use. That's just, I mean, I can't believe it that these people. Well, first of all, I cannot believe that this guy just wouldn't die.
Right.
I mean, that in and of itself is friggin' amazing. Dude, the amount of shit that they fed this guy and he didn't die, let alone running him over with a car. Fuck, dude.
Yeah. I bet you were thinking that after the gas line, I bet you were thinking like a few minutes later I was going to say, and Michael Malloy came strolling back through the door.
You know, it wouldn't have surprised me. It would not have surprised me if that's what the story had kept going, to be honest with you. This guy just did not want to, dude, I don't know. I guess he just wasn't ready to die.
No. And
no matter what.
Rasputin, like you said, it was legend. It may or may not have happened. This did happen.
Yeah. I mean, you know, yeah, the story of Rasputin it's been so glamorized in movies where he was poisoned, shot, stabbed, drowned, hung, and all, whatever.
Right.
But you know,
it may or may not have happened.
It may or may not have happened because, you know, I mean, like, you know, that happened so long ago. I mean, like, dude, at least in the 30s and the Depression. I mean, yeah, that stuff we can verify. Rasputin was what, like the 1800s?
No, it was around World War One. It was not
Rasputin that early? I mean, that I thought it was older than that. Okay, that could be my bad.
No, it was around World War One. In fact, the last Russian Tsar, was executed in World War One, and that was the one whose wife that he was banging and all that.
Okay, so Rasputin was in the early 1900s then. Okay.
Right. So this happened, what, 15, 20 years later?
Yeah. So, I don't know. Maybe Michael Malloy was the reincarnation of Rasputin. How about that?
Maybe.
There's a theory.
There's a theory. No, I'd like to think that Michael Malloy is Rasputin was a shithead. A con man.
Maybe.
But, Michael Malloy was just a good dude that...
He was just a guy, yeah.
Yeah, just a guy that happened to have a really bad drinking problem. And...
and apparently an all-star fucking liver.
All-star liver, all-star intestine and stomach lining.
Yeah, right? This guy is fucking indestructible. I do like Mike the Durable. I think that's a great fucking name.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? That would be a good band name as well.
Yeah, because he was definitely durable.
Yeah.
But no, dude, I love that. That was a great story. I'm glad I stayed in the dark about it and got to hear it for the first time right here. That was amazing.
And it didn't go as long as I thought that it would.
Well, dude, this isn't the other podcast. We didn't digress as much. We only did a little bit.
Right. But we're at almost an hour and a half.
Oh, shit, we are. Look at that. Didn't even notice. Didn't even seem like it.
No. I thought we were going to be well over 2 hours on this one.
Yeah, dude, I like that story. That was great. I want to actually, I mean, I know you told the story really well, and I enjoyed it, but it's like now I want to go and read more about it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame you. The book is like 300 pages long. I mean, I'm not going to go through like everything in the book.
Oh yeah, of course not. Yeah.
So, and
dude,
in fact,
I don't have 24 hours.
Right. I only kind of skimmed through the book. I mean, I already had a pretty good grip on the story, because of the podcast that I had listened to.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to doing the next one. And by the way, the next one that we're going to do is Luca Magnotta.
Oh, Luca.
Another piece of shit.
I actually know about this one.
Yeah. next we're gonna play my song, "The Death of Michael Malloy," and I'm just letting you. I know not everybody out there is a metalhead or anything like that, so if you don't like it, it's a legitimate, it's a thrash metal song. It's technical, and the music. Like, even if you don't like metal, just kind of give this a chance, because the music literally guides you through the story. As far as the lyrics, the music takes you through it. I'm really proud of this song.
It's a good one. I just listened to it myself. It's a very good song.
Thank you. But I did that intentionally, and it's just like I think it actually captures the feel of the story.
Yeah, it did, definitely. It totally did.
Especially the breakdown in the middle where it gets slow with the spoken word part, and then the way the solo kicks in right after that.
Yeah.
I mean, I told you yesterday that musically that was probably the best song that I've written to this point. That's also the latest song that I've written. But yeah, I'm really happy with it, and I hope y'all are happy with it too. So enjoy.
Yep.
dropped and pulled him out on the road. Revved up the engine and let her rip. He'd watched this guy up into the air. But next morning, he had disappeared too.
And now, wrapping up. Hope you liked our podcast.
Yes, I hope you liked it. We had fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And I got a really good feeling about this.
Yep. No, it was fun. And actually, it was kind of cool not knowing about it beforehand.
I told you.
I was really into listening to you tell the story, man. And I was like, damn, dude. If I'd have known more about this, I'd have been saying a lot more stupid shit than I did.
Oh, I know, but still, I wanted your genuine reaction to it.
Oh, dude, I fucking loved it, man. It was great.
The first time I heard the story, my jaw was on the floor the entire time that I was listening to it on a podcast.
Yeah, it's just insane. It's like I said earlier. Yeah. I mean, it's just insane. It's crazy, but hey.
Yeah, and Hollywood's slacking because they really need to make a movie out of this, or a movie or a miniseries or something.
Yeah, well, there is. I did tell you earlier. I said there is that little 14-minute
there's
kind of short film, but I can't find it where to watch it anywhere yet, so I don't know.
Yeah, so.
And it seems like it's more loosely based on the story. It's not like exactly the story from like what I read on IMDb, but who knows? I don't know. If I find it, I'll watch it and I'll let you know.
Okay, cool.
If I find it,
I'll watch it.
If I find it, yeah, I'll send you the link and we can watch it and maybe talk about that.
Honestly, in true crime, this is one of the most this is one of the most fascinating stories that I've heard. Like, by far. I can't think
I was
of another
riveted, dude. I mean, I couldn't wait for you to tell me what's going to happen next because, like, dude, it can't get any worse than this. Oh, it did.
And then it does.
Oh, it did. Oh, dude, I loved it. That was fucking great, bro.
Anyway, I guess in wrapping it up here, hope you listen to us. Hope you like us.
Yes.
Our social media. On Facebook, it's Crimes, Killers, Cults, and Beer podcast.
Hold on.
Twitter, it's at CKC_beer. CKC_beer. That's easy. That's easy to remember.
Yeah. On Instagram, it is CKCAB 2022.
Cool. And we have a YouTube page. There's nothing on it yet. give us time. There will be. It's Billzilla Productions on YouTube, and we're going to have links for all this stuff in the show notes.
Yes.
But yeah, and it's Billzilla Productions because we have 2 podcasts, and so that YouTube channel is going to be for both podcasts.
And we're probably going to post videos on there that have nothing to do with either podcast, but hey, you never know.
Yeah, I'm gonna do like, random comedy bits and stuff like that, and Todd can do whatever he wants. And
right. I think the YouTube channel is going to be more like an insight to what else we do. That's kind of how I'm looking at it.
Todd has a band. Tell him about your band.
Yes, I have a band. We play covers from the 80s mostly. It's like retro 80s, like pop and rock. It's called Retroactive Days. You can find us on Facebook under that name. And if you're ever in the Space Coast area, look us up. We might be playing. Come see us. Come say hi.
Space Coast of Central Florida.
Yeah, Central Florida. Sorry, I forgot
I don't
that
think
part.
I don't think we said that in the beginning when we were introducing
Yes, we live in the
ourselves.
swamps of Florida.
Yeah.
On
Cocoa
opposite
Beach.
sides of the state, by the way. Yeah, opposite sides of the state. But yeah, we both live in Florida.
If you go see Todd at one of his gigs, go up to him and say hi, and he'll buy you a beer.
I will. But you got to tell me which podcast you listen to. You tell me, hey, I listen to this, or and I'll buy you a beer. You can't just... you
Hi,
gotta
Todd.
Tell me. Yeah. You can't just like hi, Todd, because I get that shit a lot. You can't just like hi, Todd.
I listen to either Bill and Todd's Excellent Digression or Crimes, Killers, Cults, and Beer.
Yes, and I'll buy you a beer. I'll buy you whatever you're drinking. Right. It doesn't have to be a beer. If you don't drink beer, I'll buy you a glass of wine. Whatever.
And this doesn't go out to Todd's friends either.
Yes.
If Todd's friends listen to the podcast, they're exempt from this.
Yes, they're exempt from this rule because I already know you fuckers.
He's probably bought. If you're one of Todd's friends listening to this, he's probably bought you a gazillion beers already to this point anyway. So stop. Buy your own damn beer.
Buy your own damn beer. If you already know me. If you don't.
If you already know him. If not, come up and Todd will buy you a beer.
Yeah. If you come up and say, hey, I listened to you on Crimes, Killers, Cults, and Beer podcast, I'll buy you a beer. But not my friends, because you know what? I know you guys, and screw off.
and I've known Todd for a very long time, like 30-plus years. And
longer than most people been alive.
Right. Todd has bought me many a beer, and I bought him many a beer.
And vice versa, yes, definitely.
Yes. So it doesn't even apply to me.
Yeah.
So,
although
anyway,
if Bill showed up to one of my shows, I'd still buy him a beer because he drove all the way across the fucking state to come see me play. So.
Yeah. He lives in Cocoa Beach area. I live in Tampa area.
Yep. Exact opposite sides of the state.
Yep. Jump on I-4.
Right.
You'll get there in a day or two. I-4 traffic.
Yeah, with I-4 traffic, no shit. You have better luck going down to 60 and then coming back up.
Yeah. So, anyway, we're going to wrap this up. Thank you for listening. We mean that from the bottom of our heart, and we hope you keep listening. And we'll see you the next episode. Later.